Good evening and welcome to Mediumship Night on the Medium channel. So today we just get to relax, let Adam work, see if who I can bring through or who I should say decides to come through me to deliver messages to you. If you want to say a little quick prayer to your loved ones, that might increase the chances that they're able to access me during this hour. So what I do is for the next hour or so, I'll just pick up on the spirits, give you what I got, see who can take it, and then deliver the message. And if it's happening in a perfect world, we'll get the communicator, the message, we'll close the reading, go right to the other one. But there's a lot of subtleties in mediumship, especially when we're working in a group, especially when it's online and I'm relying on a chat. So I'm going to explain how that all works in a minute. And also, this coming Tuesday, we're going to do a mediumship night on Zoom. That's a maximum of 10 people. And I'll leave the email if you want to join. It's info@atombetweentheworlds.com. But at the end of this, I'll leave the email. And also, if you want to get a private reading, this doesn't count for the group, but if you want to get a private reading, mention this event. It's the Candlemas or Imbolc mediumship night on the Medium channel, and you'll just get 10% off the price. Let me put my glasses on, say hello to who's here, and then dive right on in. I'll just explain how I work, how this works, so we have as smooth a session as possible. But we'll see who comes through. So anyway, hello, Scotty Boy, Jess, and Miss Lily, welcome. And we have a few Mrs. and Mrs. And hello, Ms. Moe and Mikari Share, Barber, and Nora, and Lisa, and Michael, and unapologetically Bree. So people are just starting to get their notifications. I've got some tea. I had some lemon water, but I'll have to get to that when I'm done. Stay well hydrated, especially when you do mediumship or channeling. There's a lot of physiological changes that happen. So drinking a lot of water is a really good thing. So anyway, so I'm glad you called the live, Jess. Thank you. And hello, Jake De Castro. Welcome. And Michelle Lovejoy. Welcome. Welcome. All right. So there's only 21 on, but I'll start talking about things. Usually people find us as we go along, and then they start to join in. And they're already here, of course. They're always here, but I'm already starting to sense that maybe that's what I got to say. So let me take these off for a second. So basically, in mediumship work, and we call this evidential mediumship because evidence is king. If I was to go to a medium, I'd want to have at least some level of proof that the spirits are coming through. So we try to get evidence through. And then once everything lines up and we know who we're with, then we see what deeper messages come through on top of that. So basically, there's only one rule to this game. Anybody that died can come through in a mediumship session. Occasionally living people come through. I mean, that's rare when that happens. And most of the time it's because somebody's either very deep dementia or in a coma or something like that. But living people have come through a mediumship session also. It's usually the other side. And so anybody can come through. That could be somebody that passed yesterday. That could be somebody that passed 50 years ago. That could be the neighbor's cat. But when I'm open, anyone can come through. And where I try to be a little bit discerning in terms of we want important relatives to come through. Spirit knows better than I do. So whoever comes through, comes through. I mean, I did a session not that long ago where the person's ex-partner's family all came through. Her family didn't come through. Her ex-partner's family came through. And I just kind of joked at the end. It's like, well, tell your ex that he owes you for this reading, but she was fine with it because you got along with them. But that's an example. They know better than us. And we try to get the evidence. Sometimes names or initials will come through. Like John Edward used to say when his show Crossing Over was very popular, if I get a name or initial, it's who they are, who they're with, or who's here in the living. So you have to be open to the living, because as a medium, I'll get information, I'll get messages, I'll get images, visions, I'll hear things, I'll sense things, I'll remember things from my own life that they prompt me to remember in order to be symbolically a message for you. So it can happen in a lot of different ways. And sometimes I don't know if I get a name. I don't know if it's them or if they're talking about the living. Sometimes I do. And the other interesting thing is you get to see different levels of connection in a group. Like some spirits are very good at this. They're very strong and they're a lot more specific in detail. Other spirits aren't quite as much. And it doesn't mean that they're less with you or they're not as relevant or strong. It just means that just like some people in the living have an easier time connecting to the other side, some spirits have an easier time connecting to mediums than other spirits do. And if you don't get a message, well, if you see that other people are getting specific things and messages that they understand, you can still know that they're with you, even if they couldn't make their way through the traffic tonight. We're only this might be a smaller group. We're only 26 on right now. Good for you guys. I'll work the same amount of time if there's hundreds or if there's 20, right? It doesn't matter to me. But in any event, the point being is that if there's 26 people on, or 26, for each person, say there's an average of 4 or 5 relevant spirits. That's a lot of spirit energy right there. And then I have to answer through the chat. So basically, what I'll do is I'll give you what I get, especially when I'm in between readings and I don't know who I'm with on the chat. I'll just get the evidence as it comes. I'll try to get at least 4 or 5 bits of evidence. That way, not everybody's chiming. Saying, if I get the name John and there's a father figure and he wore a cap, there's 31 people now. That means about 10 people are going to chime in to say they know who I'm talking about, right? So I try to get more than that. So hopefully it's just one person. Sometimes it's 2 or 3 that can take it, basically. So the general rule of thumb is if you can take 80% of what's coming through, it's worthwhile to let me know that you may be able to take this message. There's a bit of a delay, so I may not see it immediately. And if there's more than one, I'll get more information until we're able to know exactly who we're with. Now, Spirit wants to get to as many people as possible. And loved ones don't necessarily directly get my attention, will do it indirectly. And what I mean by that is I'm talking to somebody else, but a lot of the references and the messages resonate with you. Your loved one's probably piggybacking also, and just thank them for making the effort to come through the other person's reading, if that makes any sense. But that can happen, and there's like this economy of motion. And my most famous example is I had 12 ladies. I picked up the name Tessa. That's not a common name, right? And that the woman coming through had an issue with their head. And out of those 12 women, 4 of them raised their hand. Like 4 of them could take that. So we find in groups that there is a soul resonance, so to speak, that people that have similarities, similar references, that are connected on some vibrational level tend to come to the same groups. People coming to these, they didn't know each other, but both their dads came through. They had the same name. They watched the same TV shows or whatever. Then all of a sudden they become best friends. So that goes on. So there's a lot of, it's not a 2 or even a 3-dimensional exercise. There's many dimensions of energy and information that comes through in these. And sometimes it brings people together. So those types of synchronicities almost always happen in these groups. So again, just to make things clear, I'll get the information. I'll see who can take it. I'll get more information. I'll get the message. Then I'll move on. And anything else that I need to explain, I'll do that. But again, the main thing is anybody that passed over can come through in the session. And most people, when they go to the medium, there's 1, maybe 2 or 3 people that they want to connect with. If you want to connect with your mom and your neighbor's cat comes through, say, meow. I say, I've got a message for you, meow. Just teasing. Acknowledge that, cat, because sometimes that could be the lead into the main message. Well, I'm not a cat, but you know what I'm saying, right? So anyway, let's keep our sense of humor up. Let's have fun, right? So I'm going to start out with a little prayer. Let me just say a few hellos. Hello, Scotty boy. Josh, good evening. You beautiful soul, good evening. And anybody else that I missed. Thank you, Susan, for being here. I love you too. Um, all right, we have a tropical shower moving through our screen today, and 33 on the chat. Mm, I know a gal named Tessa, beautiful soul. Maybe that's not a random example. All right, I've got one thing written down. So when I was doing a quick meditation beforehand, and if it doesn't go anywhere, every now and then I'll get something and it doesn't go anywhere, and then often when that happens, I'll get the email the next day that like the person saw this on the replay. And I should have mentioned at the very beginning to the replay people that you might still get a message also. They know, even if we don't know. They're beyond the constructs of time and space. So they know. And then another time I got one where somebody couldn't work with the chat. I think you have to be at least, you don't necessarily have to be subscribed to the Medium channel, but I think you have to be subscribed to Google in order to use the chat. And if you're not subscribed, you just join. Please subscribe and join us. Join our happy club here. All right. Yeah. So let's start out with a little prayer, and then I just have a couple things written down. Nobody takes it, no one takes it, but I think somebody will, because I've seen the big heart in my mind also. It may even be somebody's son or nephew, but let me see where that goes in a second. So, dear Mother, Father, God, we thank you for your presence and for all of our gifts and blessings and helping to guide us through a very challenging time, but a very special time in our evolution, as there's a changing the guards in the world and the earth and the cosmos and the collective, and a change or an opening to more spiritual values and ideas. So we know we're all here together, working together for upliftment, and we ask that our spirit loved ones can come through this evening, that we're safe and protected always in our work and our practice, and that they're able to deliver very clear, concise, and meaningful messages this evening. We ask your help and support in allowing the spirit world to manifest and allowing us here in the living to help to paint them back to life. Namaste, amen, shalom, aloha. I can't forget the Hawaiian because I love everything Hawaii. So there's military people here, and I'll get to them in a second. But when I was meditating, all right, they showed me the image of a boy, I think older, and a birthday. Like, I think where I'm going, somebody in the family, probably somebody who's a boy, maybe, I think in the living, birthday is today, maybe yesterday, tomorrow, but that was very clear. And then I've seen motorcycles or mini bike or something like that. So I think this is a family or people that like that kind of stuff. There might have even been an accident related to that, also connected to that. They showed me the name. Well, I got the form Joey of the name Joseph. So they showed me that. Then Richie, that popped also. And it feels like where I'm going, I mean, this could go in a lot of ways. This could be the person whose birthday, or it could be an anniversary today also to the birth of the spirit world, right? So an anniversary of a passing is a birthday into the spirit world. It could be that, but I feel like this would be like the person's older brother that passed on coming through. And I want to say passed suddenly too. And I think it was like an accident. And so let's see if anybody, aloha, it's your birthday. I mean, so you're not an older boy, obviously, if you're Betsy, but I don't know if any of that resonates. But if so, if not, happy birthday anyways. Damn straight, Mikey. Okay. I don't know. I'm missing you. Let me see what yeah, the name Joseph, Richie. Well, my father got killed by a motorcycle. Oh, okay. So I'm misinterpreting the information. If it's your birthday and your dad got was unfortunately killed on a motorcycle, that was his way of trying to get my attention. So I'm going to say, sometimes the way that I get information is a statement. I have a feeling your dad is a pretty funny, silly person, if I'm getting the energy right. As he comes through, I feel, it's like this feeling of like light on my feet. I don't know if that just means it's somebody that tended to be very active, I want to say. I think I'm with a smoker. At least I'm seeing tobacco for some reason, I want to say. And I feel like saying very proud of you also, that there's been some kind of an upgrade. Something I feel like he brings in something like a verbal confrontation that needs to happen or needed to happen, but that you're free of some kind of a situation. I don't know if it's a friend or boss or what that is, but I feel like he gives you support, and I think the name John is also connected. I don't know if you had any of those other names. If not, that might have been a whole separate connection. But um, oh, his brother's Joseph, so you had at least one of those names. Okay. So hi to Joey. If he's still living, if not, that they're together. Um, and and I feel like that's a message for you, and to tell you that you're not alone. It also feels like that there's a lot of energy to connect with. I don't know if there's like some kind of a gap in your relationship. He's just trying to show me that, or if it's just been a long time. But I feel like I want to mention that. And his cousin was John, so that's where the John comes. You don't have the Rich or the R name. I could be a little bit off on the name, but not an initial. So let me see what else I can pick up from him. And my screen is blinking out. Maybe a spirit's getting impatient. Your dad's with a very strong lady, I want to say, probably a grandmother to you. Not now. Okay. I might lose the picture in a minute. Uh, okay, that so both are relevant. Yeah, could you making me feel like there was friction, and there's the timeline difference. But I feel like he's saying, from the other side, that he has your back, also. So he realized that maybe it was his fault. Um, it feels like there's some connection with like drugs or something like that, maybe tobacco. But this may be buddies of his that have those issues, or past that way that he's with, I want to say. But I just feel like he just wants to let you know that I'm with you. But I feel like the other lady, and I think she had white hair, like some people's hair goes white and it's really pretty. So I think there's a white haired lady with them, and I think that would be at least closer to a favorite if I'm still with you, and this resonates with you. I just feel like saying that I love you, that I'm sorry. Of course, I know, I may be partially feeding on your response, but that's the message that I get. But I don't think this is something he would say in the living, and it just kind of gives me that feeling of like kind of pulling away a little bit. And so he died because he was walking across the street to go sneak a cigarette after he had a fight with my mother, and he got hit by a motor. That's why he showed me the tobacco, basically. Yeah. So in any event, and easy on the other woman. And okay, so the other woman, this would be. I think this is still in Betsy's energy, and this would be somebody that would be much more favorable. But sometimes I feel like also I'm on the boardwalk somewhere all of a sudden. Maybe Atlantic City, but all of a sudden I'm like find myself on the boardwalks. That might be something relevant to you, or the spirit, or this family. But in any event, to let you know that he's here, it just feels like there's a lot of release. For some reason, he's showing me something about living in a 6-story building, specifically 6th floor. It could be 5 or 7, but in any event, it looks like it has like a brick facade, I want to say. So it kind of looks like a smaller, city or village place that maybe somebody lives. It, feels a little bit New Englandish, but I might be off about that. But sometimes they show me things to say hi to people, or it's just memories or references to that, I want to say. Oh, hi, Suzette, and thank you so much. Oh, okay. So this is your mom, not your grandma. Okay. No, my mother was dying. We took her to the beach with the hospice nurses. We went to Jones. Yeah, Jones Beach has a very similar boardwalk. I've been to Jones Beach many, many times. Yeah. So this is your mom's way of coming through. And if she didn't have white hair, well, that was my mistake. Maybe there's a white-haired woman in this connection somewhere. But in any event, I think your mom would have been well, obviously would have been closer if you took all the trouble with hospice to get her to the beach at Jones Beach. I think that's why she popped that image. It's almost like this feeling like I'm here, and I want to say hello. Basically, forget that guy. I'm here, and trust your intuition. I feel like she's saying you. And there's a name like Barbara that pops up also, or at least a B name. But I feel like she's saying trust your intuition that she's been around a lot, and I don't know if there's anything about a sick dog that you're aware of, or dog that's had like threw up or something like that. I think lighter in color, but that image just came up in my mind also. But I feel like she just wants you to know we're holding down the fort, that you're doing a good job. And lots of blessings to you. I want to say she was 85. Yep. That's your mom, not your grandma. So I get it. And just before I go to the next person, I just want to see if she has any other messages. She's showing me a net. It's almost like this image of like fishing, but I think it's more like catching a man or something like that. I don't know what the heck that means, but maybe she helped you if you're married or with someone, or she will help you if you're looking for somebody. And you had two white. So those are the white the dog. Oh, that's how they were sick, and they were all right. So that's her way of saying she has the dog. That's why she popped the image of the white dog that's sick in my mind. So she wants you to know that she's with you. She has your dogs. And again, I just get this feeling of doing a good job. I don't know if you were somebody to teach her, but all of a sudden I felt like I was in the school, like in the halls of a school, I want to say. So if you understand who that is, that may be her way of reaching out to that person also. And yeah, so how do we get a reading? From Michelle Owens. The mention this event and you get 10% off. Yana takes care of my scheduling, and the email is info@atombetweentheworlds.com. I'm glad that you have another dog. Thank you. That's that's the validation I was looking for there. So she's just her way of just saying that she remembers her life. They may not have bodies, but they're still intelligent. They're still with you. So let me move on. 'Cause I want to get to what was I going to say? Let me clear my mind. Oh, there's somebody here that really likes the cinema. I don't know if he's talking, if male figure. I don't know if he's talking about his name or an important name being Charlie, or if there's a Charlie Chaplin fan. I want to say. Let me see if I can get more about this person. I think there's a G name. I don't know if it's Greg or Gary or George, but I think there's a G name that's connected to this person. I want to say. This might not resonate with anybody, but I've seen the image of like dog fights or dogs fighting. There's actually like a sport like dog fighting. So I mean, wherever I'm going, that there may have been somebody in the family that did that, but I'm also seeing like a lot of reading also, and it's like older books that have hardcovers, and one of them would be Charles Dickens. I think it's A Tale of Two Cities. So I think I'm with somebody that knew something about history. I want to say that knew something about literature, that liked the movies. I want to say. I think this person also had a lot of chest issues, breathing issues, and I think that there's a surname Walker connected to this, or maybe somebody had a Walker, but I just heard Walker in my mind. So I'm going to pause for a second, see if anybody is understanding this at all. So far, nobody's chimed in with that. But I'm going to wait a second. Maybe I'll grab another sip of tea. No, okay. I'll see if we can get a little bit more. Hi, Josh. Yeah. Hi to you. Thanks for chiming in. But nobody has this person. Yeah. See if we can get a little bit more. So you get the image of like being in a larger room, kind of being by myself. So it may be a situation where the person's significant other passed well before him. I want to say also, feel like he's now showing me the hospital. So I feel like he passes in the hospital. I feel like he's in his 80s or roughly. I could be a little bit off in the age. Interesting. Maybe 79 because that number popped in my mind. That could be the year. And would not be surprised if this is still linked to Betsy in some way. But since nobody's getting this yet, I'll keep an eye in the chat if somebody does get it. I'm going to go in it with a different connection right now. Hold on, I'm just waiting. All right, just I have a group that just popped in. So somebody's got a lot of spirits with them. I think there's a name like Shane, I want to say, or Sean, a name like that that's relevant. Woman with 8 kids, or took care of 8 children if they weren't all alone. There's a name like Marie, maybe Mary, like an MAR name connected in this energy. I get the image of the woman maybe being slightly taller than average for her time or slightly thinner in the kitchen a lot. But I feel like there's a liking for music, like liking to sing or do things and have music on a lot. Also, I want to say very motherly energy. So this could be a mom figures whoever I'm going to on the chat. And got to get the third okay, you're just having a conversation. And let's see, where else are we going? Very protective as well. Let's see, a woman with a kid. What did you say? When I dated her, I ran fast. I think that's somebody else. I don't know if any of this other stuff makes sense to you. But in any regards, yeah, there's something. The person that I'm with definitely took care of a lot of children. I don't know if all 8 of them were hers. There'd be a lot of kids, I want to say, and very protective. So she's Hispanic. That I'm not sure about. Jake, this feels right when you say your grandmother had 8 kids. As soon as I saw that, all of a sudden I felt like that light went off. I want to say, and I feel like she did it well, handled it well. I want to say for the most part. So let me see if you very energetic kind of a person or energy. I want to say, you kind of make. I think there's a name like Frank also, or an FR name. So there's one of the MAR names and a name like that I think links in with that also. Marie's your mom's name, and you come from a family of 8 kids. So that and then Jake saying 7 lived, 1 passed as a baby. So I could be now there's 2 possibilities here because Marie, that's the name. And that's the form I got, Marie, right? Mary was kind of like the sounds like name if Marie didn't hit. And you're from a family. Now is your mom passed? I hope she's still living, but it may be her way of coming through, or if not, somebody connected to your mom coming through. So that would be for Barbara, and I think I talked about the name Barbara too, right? And your handle is Barbara, so that would make sense to me also. Jay, keep listening, because I think they're both getting my attention now, and sometimes it works that way in this. So keep listening, and Barbara saying she did, so something that I said makes sense to you. And Jake's getting this also. So this may be one of these twofers. And Jake has an Uncle Frank. That's one of the names also. And thanks for chiming in and letting me know the rest didn't resonate. So thank you for being honest about that. And she loved music and cooking. Right. They show in the kitchen and singing and music. So singing when she cooks. So I think yours is the main contact, especially with that Barbara connection. But I think Jake's also relatives came out. So let's see if we can give you both a message. Thanks also Coyote Moon. Marlene had 9 kids. She's gone, and Barbara's still alive. So, that's what I was saying in the beginning. That can happen. That a lot of other energies may we call it piggybacking, may link in with the original link to try to let you know that they're with you also. So up for Barbara. I don't know if there's been a separation in your life, but it kind of makes me feel like you just need an extra hug right now. I want to say. I mean, maybe we all do, but I feel like now wait. This is your mom coming through. I know you mentioned that your mom had your one of 8, but she did, but but husband died. So your mom's in the living then, and it's your dad or her husband that passed on. So anyways, let me just see if we get more information. Jake had an Aunt Barbara. All right, very good. So very dysfunctional family. Yeah. No, my mom is passed. This is what I was looking for, because I know I have a mother figure. So she's coming through, and she's not a shy woman. I guess when you have 8 kids, if you are shy, you lose that fast. She's not a shy woman. She's talking about cigarettes, but then quitting. I don't necessarily get her resonant with smoking. As I'm picking up on the energy, but maybe somebody in the family's quit or is trying to quit, or she did at a young age. She showed me a big ear. To me, that's a symbol that they give me when you hear them. Like you have some clairvoyant abilities, so you hear them. And I don't know if you live by like a trains or subways, but I just get this image of like it could be like an above ground subway, like passing close by. And there's also like a name like Lewis or Lewiston as a place, but something with Lewis or that sound comes in. And I just feel like she's saying that I'm fine. And she's doing something about like having like fine silver and fine china and celebrating. And that's kind of like sense on the other side. I think that there's some dogs in your family also. And she's doing this funny thing about like the Wi-Fi signals and showing me a full signal. So I think it's her way of saying she comes through loud and clear, and you have ways of knowing that. Like either you sense her, or there's orbs in the photos, or there's electronics or stuff like that. But you know that, and I feel like she's saying that you are continuing the work, whatever that means, that you're continuing the process that maybe your mom was involved in some way. I don't know exactly what that means, but I think it's something to do with helping people, I want to say also. So let me see if any of this is resonating. And we have, so we stopped off with my mom passed. So I don't know if the rest of us. All right, so Jake, you're understanding what maybe Barbara is, and Long Island Railroad, Uncle Lou, very good. So Lewis is saying hi to you, Jake. So your relative is here also. So they're both here, and they're both wishing you a lot of love. So I think I got the other person's message through. What was her name? Barbara? Was it Barbara 01? So I think we got that through, but I think your people are here since you have Lewis and the Long Island Railroad. Yeah. Grab a little more thing. Okay. So let me get this off the screen. Okay, so you're understanding where I left off from Barbara, because she didn't understand, apparently, because she didn't understand that. Well, getting back to her, lots of love. Why do I see a lot of dogs? This could be for either of you. So that message that I thought was for the one person was for you. Okay, and the other message is I don't know if you're practicing mediumship or channeling or anything like that, but I feel like you should. If you're not, I want to say, And I don't know if you have any family or friends that like the Grateful Dead, but all of a sudden I saw one of those symbols in my mind. I like the Grateful Dead. I've still seen quite a few of their shows back in the day. Um, and that could be also a funny metaphor about being dead but grateful, and I think that there's a message in the music, right, so to speak, that that I think the person coming through is speaking of having a lot of gratitude for her life, and she's grateful for being on the other side now. And usually when they say that, it's like their body gives out, or they had a lot of struggles in the living. But you know what? When it's done, it's done. It's like the pain never even happened. And I feel like this lady's giving you a big hug and kiss. And I don't know if you're into like things like animals or not anthropology, but like zoology or the history of animals or something like that. But I swear I'm seeing like images of like Jane Goodall, like the gorillas and stuff like that. It may just be an area that you may open up to or research at some point. Thank you, Jake, for that. Yeah, many dogs here. They were showing me many dogs, absolutely. And I am, thank you. And you're trying very good. So you have the abilities, yeah. So very good. And keep up the good work. That's the message, and keep talking to them, and they'll keep talking to you, basically. And thank you again so much for the super sticker, much appreciated. All right, let's see if we can shift gears a little bit. All right. I believe somebody with me lived to, I want to say 101 or right around then. This is a female. She makes me feel like she was in a wheelchair near the end. I mean, not all 100-year-olds are in wheelchairs, but I know that's pretty common, right? But I think that there's a problem with a right leg, I want to say, and a left hip, I want to say also, but not dementia. And I think there's I don't know if it's Amy. Again, names can be who they are, who they're with, or who's here in the living. Uh, and this woman is specifically saying, we don't sugarcoat it, don't sugarcoat it. So I think this is somebody that would be very straightforward that I'm with also. Let's see what else. And also the number 68 just popped up in my mind. I mean, I don't know if that's a sports uniform or an address or if that's an age that somebody is or somebody else passed. But I think it's all going to be in the same energy. But I know this woman was like the matriarch. She ruled the roofs. I don't know if this would be a grandmother or great grand. I don't know. I don't think this would be your mom where I'm with, but I'm not sure what the relationship. I want to say grandmother, great aunt. But definitely lived to quite an advanced age. And this was a force to be reckoned with, I want to say also. But I feel like very active, like either in the community or the church or the neighborhood or something like that. And one or even two people from the family continue doing that. They kind of continue that process, I want to say also. And let me see if anybody understands a so Amanda, I don't know if you understand the older lady. That could be a grandmother figure that's helping your parents through. I'm going to see if anybody else is taking that. So this could be where this could be where 101 comes. Today's my dad's birthday. My grandma lived to be 101. So that would be your grandma. Now I don't know if the personality and what I'm describing fits her also, but it should all line up. And again, I just feel like this is a strong person. I just feel like this is somebody that would be a helper, I want to say, and be connected to the community. If I'm incorrect about that, that would be for less or whatever. If I'm incorrect about that, that would be somebody in the family she's acknowledging that does that. But yeah, so old stubborn German, yeah, I get that. I'm mostly, my ancestry is mostly German, and yeah, we can be very stubborn. So, so I just feel like she's just letting the family know that she's here. She's still stubborn. She's still very matriarchal, but but I feel like there's a lot of love and a lot of light for you. So let me see. You mentioned he talks about you being in school, so I think that's a metaphor. I don't think you're literally in school, um, but I think that you're in a process of learning and growth right now. And I feel like he's like, don't take shortcuts. There may be a process that needs to see itself through, like having to go through all the steps basically, rather than try to get from point A to point B, because we learn more through the journey than the destination. I want to say this may literally involve a move. I'm trying to figure out, or ask them, what are we talking about here? This may be a literal move, I want to say. And by the way, I don't know if anybody played a trumpet or a brass instrument, or if somebody in the family, or if she, like, those types, that's like big band era, or those types of music, Tommy Dorsett, the famous trumpetist, or is he a trombonist? But anyway, I want to see, if you're able to understand. Oh, so sorry that your husband has passed on. Yeah. Um, accordion. All right. And I just want to see if they'll help me connect with your Oh, hi Yoshi. It's your husband at 93. Those days ago. Wow, that could be why the older lady's coming through. Because sometimes when it's that reason, they don't come through, and these sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. But I'm gonna say, if this is a situation where the person got taken off of life support, or oxygen, or something like that, they may be showing me him. If not, there's another male energy there that's connected to that. I think there's a J name connection. I want to say a name like Jim, but I think there's one of the common J names is connected to that energy also. I think that goes to the same person. And so anyway, I want to see if there's anything else. Self-taught. So you understand that part anyways. Very good. And your Papa James. Okay, very good. So they're with James, they're all helping your husband through the transition, I want to say. This in storage. Yeah. Okay. So lots of love to you. Congestive heart failure. That's how my dad passed. So I may have not verbalized this, but I definitely feel that heaviness in the chest that sometimes I get. So anyway, lots of love to you. You're putting lots of prayers out there. Let's see. I still have a little energy, so I have a couple more readings in me. Oh, very good, Scotty boy. Maybe your people are sort of tiptoeing around here, because it's almost like you're able to take bits and pieces of all the connections this evening. All right. All right. So who's here? Because I know I have somebody that loved Gone with the Wind, because I'm just seeing those images in my mind, and would watch it many times and still cry. I want to say also. I think this connected to a female. As the person steps through a little bit more, I definitely feel a little bit of vertigo or dizziness. So I think that there may have been some confusion, maybe a dementia or Alzheimer's situation around this. Yeah, I'm getting the yes to Alzheimer's. So I think that would connect with this person. I want to say also. There may be a Frank, Francesca, an F name connected. Sometimes, like, I love it when they give me their own names, but sometimes it's who they're with or who's here in the living. There's something about a step. I wouldn't be surprised, actually, the person that I'm with wound up like falling downstairs or something like that, and that cascaded into a lot of problems. But I'm still with you. And as soon as I was about to say with, she flipped that into Williams. I think there's a Will Bill connection where I'm going. And I think this is another family that has a lot of different people. And I think there's a few cat lovers also. Could I just get the image of several cats? One of them was a striped gray tabby, I want to say, also, but on the smaller side. So let me just see. I know it takes a couple of minutes. Let me just see if anybody is going to get that. Days ago. Wow. Um, I don't know if that's it or not. There you go. Some lots of prayers. Yeah. So healing prayers healing. That's kind of links in. So I don't think anybody's understanding this contact yet, or they haven't spoken up if they do. Um, Let me see what else. I think a name like Charlotte's connecting also, unless I'm going into a new connection already. Maybe Charlotte. I think it's Charlotte, I want to say. Uh, which, sounds conspicuously like Scarlett O'Hara, like Gone with the Wind again. But I think this is very relevant. Something about 50s. There may be somebody that they're connecting with or talking about that passed in their 50s also. And it's interesting. They just gave me an image of a pyramid, which could be that where I'm going, that you've been to Egypt or the pyramids in Mexico or something like that, or have those organs, those pyramids that help to deflect electromagnetic energies and things like that. Thank you, Scotty. Appreciate that. Yeah, they show me a lot of cats. Do you know anybody that like Scarlett O'Hara or Gone with the Wind that would be relevant? Might be for you. That's how I started this connection. Um, all right, I'm gonna move on. Like I said, sometimes every now and then people think of it later, or it's somebody that comes in not live but watches this as a video. Um, but this person's here. Maybe I just haven't really picked up on everything I need to for it to be recognizable, but the person's definitely here and with you. I mean, I feel like this was a stubborn person in the living also, it's definitely had an edge, I want to say. Uh, I may be switching, but a name like Bruno popped up in my mind. And that could be relating to boxing, because sometimes they use their own references. And being, a martial artist, I mean, I don't really compete. I haven't, fought or done any of that for many years. But I still like to watch. And we say watch on YouTube a Mike Tyson fight against, what's his name, Frank Bruno. So I could be getting it that way. But let me just clear my mind. Clear my mind and just let it all go. Uh, you might take this. I don't know. I don't know if some of the other references made sense. 111. What were you in Great Britain or wait? I don't think it's 111 anywhere. Could it? Oh no, we've been out. It's all right. Anyway, so that could be a way of saying hi also. Um, all right. All right. So people that are actually asking for readings. Wait a second, Susan. I'm gonna get back to you because all of a sudden something resonated. Uh, so I think this is you. So let me get back to that for a second. But I don't know when, but in the next couple of weeks, I'm gonna do a questions night where people can you all come on and I'll answer questions. But when I do mediumship, I've got to work strictly from spirit because one, it's the most fair way to work, and more importantly, that's the only way I really can work. So I have to let them come in and give me messages. But the fact that we were talking about promoting Muhammad Ali and I know a thing or two about Mike Tyson. He trained like a walking distance where I used to live in Catskill, New York, and yeah, when I was younger and I was doing martial arts and competing, I would study him, Sugar Ray Leonard, and Muhammad Ali. Those were the three boxers I would study because they were all strategists. They all had perfect body mechanics. So they were like teachers in a way, and of course Muhammad Ali was one of Mike Tyson's idols. So I think somebody's here for you also. So Bob Arum was your cousin that owned Top Rank Boxing. very famous, very famous outfit. Yeah. Um, I don't know if this guy, how well you knew him, if he could put people off a little bit easily, or if he's a little bit abrasive sometimes. But I feel like you've got a lot of support, like they're showing me the angels around you, and I think you've opened up recently to more of your abilities. I mean, I know that you're a medium also because we converse sometimes, but I think there's more angelic presences around you, and I could see you doing more like with the earth and the ley lines, and doing healings on the planet, and really tuning in a lot to like our Arcturian energies, I want to say. So I feel like you have a lot of spirits, saying that, keeping up the good work, and that you too know how to fight the good fight, and you don't give up until the prize is at hand. So I feel like from the spirit, you get a lot of strength and encouragement to keep going in your process, whatever that means to you, I want to say. So in any event, great role models, and yeah, thanks. Yeah. I mean, I know Mike Tyson had some personal problems, no, I definitely get that. But at the end of the day, I think he was a good role model. And but Muhammad Ali, I mean, he's like one of the only boxers that I watched that actually ended a fight. That was against Jerry Quarry, a famous fight, that he just said, no, he's had enough, no more. Like in other words, he risked losing the fight by ending it because basically he didn't want to kill this guy because he couldn't defend himself. So that's very respectful. I mean, I know he had his act, like I'm the greatest, and all that stuff and all that jive, but Muhammad Ali is the greatest for a reason. So yeah, thank you for that. Don't be fooled by the persona. Absolutely, yeah. I mean, if I was pursued by people's persona, I never would have studied Kundalini yoga, for example. If you know a thing or two about Yogi Bhajan, you know exactly what I'm saying. It's the message, right? It's not the messenger, it's the technique, it's what they bring. Sometimes the messenger is flawed, right? And you met Muhammad Ali. Oh my God. I'm mega gel. Very respectful. Yeah. I know you have 100 more on the other side. You're still dealing with the New York issues. Yeah, I do know about that. So yeah, they're definitely telling you to keep fighting the good fight. Yeah. Very good. So let's see if we can get one or two more. So I've got a sense of a younger, I think a male, and I want to put him around 13, like young. And, this just came in my mind. And, if nobody takes this quickly, I'm going to get off of this because it's not the happiest energy. But I feel like there's somebody that took their own life, honestly, at a very young age, I want to say. Very strong. I think the name George is relevant. Oh, wait a second. Hold on. I'm confusing something. The person coming through, actually, I think there's somebody that had childhood illness, I want to say, and passed that way, and something that might have related to the stomach area. But I think there's somebody in that energy that either took their life, that's connected to that person, or has from an overdose, because sometimes energetically it resonates the same way unless they specifically show me. But I think that the other person would be closer to age 40, I want to say, not the young person. So I think that's all connected. And oh, that's nice. Yeah, I know he had sort of an epiphany of sorts. Yeah, I get that also. Yeah. Let me see if anybody understands stomach, liver cancer. Oh, is that your dog that had stomach, liver cancer? Am I picking up on a dog now? So it's a female of 15. All right. Hmm. Oh, bedwetter. Maybe Angela. Let me see if I can get some more information in. So Lana's saying yes. In other words, your dog had stomach or liver cancer. I mean, it's possible that the dog just got my attention from it, and that's why I felt that. In a group like this, I mean, when it's live and I can see the people, it's usually a little bit more cohesive than on a chat like this. But it should all line up pretty succinctly, anyways. Uh, but you're talking about your dog, though, right? So this dog wouldn't happen to be like either a German Shepherd or a bigger dog. If not, somebody's German Shepherd or that looks like a German Shepherd just got my attention. But George, that was one of the names we got, right? Okay, so George, father's brothers, and my father died of stomach cancer. So maybe I'm still with you, and you might know somehow connected with somebody younger that passed, and then somebody a little bit older that took their own life. So that might somehow connect with you or connect with them in any event. So anyhow, so he's a beagle mix. So all right. I think that's probably for somebody else, but anyway, let me see if we've got one more. Uh, all right, so I just have to clear my mind. Somebody else is here. Yeah, this is a male figure, tall guy, bigger, tall person. So that means all of a sudden he showed me something about a long white beard. I wonder if this is like somebody that's funny who either's born or passed around Christmas. Um, I feel like this person was good with his hand. He might have been a mechanic, and I feel like I'm doing that kind of stuff. The number 1 comes up, so there may be reference to January or the first day of a month. I think that there's a name like John, also the name Bob. So yes, I know those are the more common names, but John and Bob, that popped up in my mind somehow around or connected to the person I want to say. I feel like this person that I'm with, he's probably leaner, probably on the taller side. I think he's a good person, but he may have had a drinking issue where there'd be personality changes that would come up also. Trying to get the sense this could be like a friend, a brother, that kind of a resonance with the person coming in. John, yeah, there may be more than one John because that name popped into my head again. I'm gonna say also, and just like could fix things up, fix a lot of things up. Father, I'm wondering if I'm mistaken because I just heard father in my mind. So this may be your father or somebody that raised you, or he's with your father. But I think this is going to go to somebody. So let me see where we are. All right, yeah, losing son or daughter, yeah, very very hard, yeah. You 3. Oh, we've gotten such clear messages from Mika in the past. He's one of the strongest spirits, and sometimes these young ones are so spiritual that they come through strong. I know that he may be hanging around also. Yeah, we're sending you a lot of love, but who understands what I was saying? Who understands that contact? I can't even go back to what I said because it's already gone. Um, Alana, do you think Alana understands it? Here, not familiar. No, what the heck? All right. Where are we? Yeah, he's still here. This I feel like somebody that can fix things, that could do a lot. Again, I'm sort of recapping things. I feel like, I mean, sometimes when somebody's thinner, I may get the size perspective wrong, but I feel like I'm with somebody taller, maybe Italian or just like pizza. I'm seeing pizza and then boxes of pizza also. I feel like this is a funny person, and there's definitely a J name, named John or very similar name. Nobody gets that, huh? And then something with that long white beard. Yeah, yeah. Long white beard. I thought maybe that related to Santa Claus, for some that may be somebody that he's with in the living that has a long white beard. That may be very literal. Um, but I do feel like that they want to say hi, that they want to acknowledge you, wherever you are, and it's Father Time. Yeah, that's true also. But um, all right. Let's see if we can. My great grandma fell down the stairs. Oh, that was from your contact when they showed me the stairs, right? Okay, so there you have it. Also, all right. No, nobody seems to get this. Maybe it's going to be on the replay. But I feel like you're here. I don't know why. I feel like you're here. Number 5 coming. I think the month of May is important. Also, I think there's something about strength. Maybe there's you know, athletics, weightlifting. I definitely know there's a father energy, and you would have the person's watch, and it also looks. And if I may be even another connection, but I'm being shown this watch. It's got a darker face on it. It's got different features. It's not like a smartwatch. It's older than that. I think it was waterproof also. So anyways, this is all coming around. I think it's all for the same person or people, but um oh, there's Jacob, not John, but that's still a Jane, and his brother-in-law was Bob. I mean, if some of this other stuff makes sense, and maybe with you, you're welcome, Alana. Absolutely. Um, all right, this may be auto body, mechanic, biker, smoker, doper, drinker, not a stellar guy. This is sounding like what I was describing. So I don't know if he was a little bit on the thin side or if he was a bit taller. But sometimes, like I said, sometimes the thinner people will appear in my mind taller than they are. But yeah, I get that he wasn't a stellar guy also. So I don't know what relationship that he has to you, but I feel like he's saying hi. And just wants to let you know that he's coming through. So let me see what else. But that would be it. I think your name Bob. My grandfather was born in January and died on Christmas morning. Named Bob, or Nell and Bob. So you can take some of this also. And Gypsy Nick's take some of that too. For Nick's Gypsy. All right. Oh, okay. So I think there's another reference in May, or the number 5 came in also with that. I know we mentioned January 1 when I was starting to figure out who I was with. Snoker Thin. Was that the same person? And your grandfather. All right, so there's a lot of hits here. Yeah. Oh, that's air quotes. So I didn't see air quotes come back. So maybe that was the wrong connection. Robert Neal. Oh, okay, Robert Neal. So you get that. All right. So whoever this is, I think they want to say hi to you. Grandfather drank and smoked, so I think maybe your grandfather comes. But I think like your grandfather, if I'm with him, I feel like he was a nice person, or a nicer person. I want to say everyone knows a Bob. Yes, everybody does know a Bob. I get that, but what I want to see from you is if the other stuff is making sense. That way, I'll know if I'm with you or not. Everyone may know a Bob, but not everybody knows a Bob, a John, somebody who's taller, who smoked, who drank, who's mechanical, and stuff like that. So that's what I'm looking for here. So in any event, so in any event, let me see what else. He worked on airplanes. So this feels a little bit stronger to me, but for air quotes, just keep your ears open because sometimes they'll overlap and they'll piggyback. And I don't know what relationship this is to you, but I feel a grandfather. That's what I'm saying. They feel like this is a grandfather, great uncle figure. But I feel like this one's nice. I feel like it's a different resonance than the other connection. I feel like this person's, nice. Hopefully that's true. And let me just see what message they have for you. And then I'm going to close up shop. And again, there's that reference to January, the reference to Christmas, the white beard, and all that. So I think that all goes to the same place. I think somebody may be closing on a house soon. So I don't know if you understand that in your family, but I feel like the spirit would be aware of that. I feel like if there's a grandmother figure that's very strong around you also. I know that she wore glasses. I feel like she's smart and sharp. And maybe not super demonstrative, but a really nice person, I want to say. And something about getting quotes also. So there may be like some work being done, maybe on a house or a car that you or somebody close to the family getting quotes on, I want to say. And yeah. All right. So I know that you're the main contact here. So you absolutely love Christmas. That's why the beard, all right. And then my grand just died on Christmas. Wow. So he just died. Thank you so much, Ilana. We appreciate you. Thank you so much. And let me that out. So I think you're another one who's super intuitive. I feel like what they're saying about you is that you are just really starting to get more grounded. It's almost like I mean, I don't know if this is because of your Graham's passing or if it's something else. Oh, let me put this hide this comment. But I feel like here we go. Thank you. Okay. All right. Let me just see what else. This is my last one, and I'm really starting to get my getting everything crossed. You're getting quotes on the house right now. That's why it's saying quotes and closing on the house. So I know that I'm with you. That if there was any doubt, there's none now. So very good. Glad to hear that. And your grandfather, I'm sure, saying hi also, Yolanda. So let me just see what else. I feel like he's saying just don't take the first offer. So in other words, I feel like your grandfather's probably a pretty sharp person. I feel like he's a good negotiator, and I just feel like you're saying, to field offers and not to necessarily take the first one. Make sure that you're satisfied and everything, because it's not for him, it's for you. It's for the family. That's what matters. And I don't know if he was in the Air Force and military, but all of a sudden I've seen like jets in my mind that look military. If not, that may be somebody that he's with, I want to say also, or someone in the living that had that type of a military experience. And the word brother comes up. So that may be a great uncle. So that might be his brother that we're talking about, or somebody that he's with. But in any regards, got your back. Keep saying the prayer. So I think that you pray and meditate. So keep saying the prayer, and all things will happen. That we love you. So I think both the grandma and grandpa are together now. That we love you. They feel like they stayed together in life. For some reason, they show me the number 23. So I don't know if somebody born and passed on the 23rd of any month, or if the number 23 has a specific resonance. And I feel like your grandma or somebody in the family would have liked music, may have even had a piano, because that image came in my mind, or could read sheet music or something like that. Or that could be talent in the living. And something about sugar too, like sugar cubes. I mean, I don't think that's has to do with LSD, by the way. Back in the day, people will put sugar cubes in their coffee or tea, where my mind goes, but whatever. And, it's funny because I get the image of shirts that look kind of dressy, but they're casual at the same time. So I don't know if somebody close to you had it could even be your grandmother's blouses, but I was perceiving this as men's shirt. So I don't know, if somebody inherited some of the wardrobe, but I feel like he's acknowledging that. So now I'm going to see if any of that makes sense. Oh, your brother died too. So sorry to hear that. I've two brothers in the spirit world myself. Um, sorry to hear that. Everyone, hey, Howdy boy. 23 Michael Jordan. I don't think that's what that means. I think I'm just seeing if the because this is where the contact is. So I don't know if any of that ties into your brother or not, but I think that's who the message is. Yeah, because you're the one that was getting the quotes with the house. So I think at least hopefully you understand the other stuff. Either that or I might have flipped back to Alana. That might have happened also, especially if you're not able to take that. Sugar cubes are a great treat for a horse. I did not know that. Yeah. Okay, that's all. That's all I care about is that you understand. That's all that matters. So anyhow, that's what I got. Let me just write in my email, and we're gonna. I don't. It's probably gonna be up on the website tomorrow. But we're gonna do a group of 10. So there we go. A group of 10 people this coming Tuesday, the 10th. So those sell out, and that's guaranteed messages. So when it does sell out, that means I work for about 2.5 hours. I try to give everybody 15 minutes if possible. And if you want to be part of that, email us info@atombetweentheworlds.com. My website is atombetweentheworlds.com. And if you want to get a private reading, mention this event, email Yana and let her know that you were part of the mediumship group, and you'll get 10% off. So anyway, thank you everybody. Yes, some of the messages are definitely for more than one. I explained how that works in the beginning. So, you may be able to call that. Interestingly, Nicholas, I didn't verbalize this, but at some point the name Jeff popped into my mind also. His name was Joe, so he might have cut in and just to say hi also. I don't get to say everything that comes through because it comes through very quickly, but they distinctly, when I was talking about that, did show me the name Jeff and the Joes and Johns and the mechanics, so that might have just been his way of saying hi. All right, aloha, everybody. Thanks again. Thanks for being here. And let me see what's coming up for people in Spirit Mind Family. We have an energy transmission channeling group tomorrow at 7. If you're not on that and you want to join, this is our inner core ascension work that we do on Patreon. So there'll be information on the pinned comment on that. Do I have any more lives coming? Probably not till Sunday, till tarot time. You have a video coming out tomorrow about about some channeled information about the truth behind the Epstein files. That's gonna ruffle a few feathers. So I'll get my combat gear on before I drop the video. But I think that'll be 11:11 a.m. It's not bad or negative or anything, but it's controversial, and that's what happens on YouTube, right? When you present controversial information, especially when we talk about certain acts, certain politicians. So that's an upload though. That's not a live or anything like that. So that's what I got coming up. Pretty soon we'll have a new website. We'll have a free course on meditation, breath work, and presence, and lots of goodies coming up. So anyway, and if you enjoy this, please like it. Maybe there were two messages that never got taken. That happens sometimes. And that might be somebody that's going to come on later. So sometimes if people like the video, it's supposed to help the algorithm get it out to more people. I don't know if that's true, but anyway, if you like this, that's a show of support, and I appreciate that. And if you enjoy what we do here, please subscribe, be part of our family. So I have channeling for tomorrow posted on my YouTube feed. All right. So that should be an unlisted video. It should not be on my YouTube feed. So thanks for letting me know so I can fix that. So thanks for letting me know that. All right. Thanks everybody. Love you. We will see you in the next video. Namaste.